Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk Chair Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be. Enjoy more of what life has to offer with the people who you love and care about most. You become better for not only you, but the people you love and care about most. You gotta be a little uncomfortable and take that leap of faith. You're in control of the process. I'm here with you. If we don't continue to grow, if we don't continue to move on, we will be sad and upset. This morning, we're going to be doing a little bit of a review of a music festival my girlfriend and I got to go to. The festival was absolutely amazing in a lot of ways. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go over some of my favorite parts, my least favorite parts, and additionally, I'm going to talk a little bit about drugs, alcohol, and music in general, kind of how it affects my body, how the vibe and the experience of it is in a universe of its own. And if please stay with me, hopefully the content doesn't get ruined too bad because I feel like shit. I just don't feel very good overall. I feel pretty terrible, but I swore that I would be doing these morning shows absolutely every morning. No excuses for 1,000 episodes. And we're only at 299, so we got a long way to go. No matter what, we're going to get this stuff done and we're going to try and enjoy it. This one's supposed to be a fun one, so I'm trying to lighten my mood up a little bit, but also just not surprised that emotionally and physically I feel like crap after you drive over. I think the drive was like over 10, 12 hours. We had a car accident. There's just a bunch of stuff going on before and after, and I'm beat up and I feel like crap, but it's again, the point is that when you do this kind of stuff to your body and there's you're going to be tired. And this is why I think there's a huge epidemic with people being tired in general in life. And hopefully, this can shed some light and some reality on some of the habits. And then you can see my energy when I'm like really focused and I'm doing only like healthy stuff versus we kind of start dipping into some of the unhealthy stuff, how it affects us emotionally, how it affects us physically, and how it affects us spiritually, and how it affects what we're trying to get done and how we're trying to go about it. Without further ado, over here to the side, that there was just the drive that we made. So Bonnaroo is down in Manchester, Tennessee, more towards the center of the state. It's out in the middle of the woods. It's just south of Nashville. If you get a chance, if you're in the area, I would highly recommend because it's just a 1 hour south Nashville. And we actually went to Nashville on the way back. We stopped there. It was a really fun time. Got to check that out. That was pretty sweet. So I highly recommend stopping in Nashville. It's called the Parthenon. So in Nashville, we got to stop by it's the exact replica of Athena's temple that's in Greece, I believe. The Parthenon is a former temple on the Athenian in Greece that was dedicated to the goddess Athena during the 5th century BC. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Got to do the museum for that. So if you're going to go to Nashville, I'd highly check this out if you're into architecture or mythology. Yeah, pretty cool building. Absolutely massive. And you can go inside it and they have all that they have cool stuff in there. But that's nothing compared to Bonnaroo. Talking about Bonnaroo a little bit. So we had on here Kendrick Lamar, a little overrated in concert and music. I'm going to start with that. But some of the best 3-6 Mafia was absolutely hilarious and super, super fun. The song Stay Fly still keeps you fly. That song was absolutely amazing. Sylvanesso, they're a 2-person band. My girlfriend absolutely loves and adores them. We got to see them. That was really good. Grizz. Yeah, there was like these light shows and the setup, and I wish I had I would have if I wasn't. I just slept, no joke, I just slept like 13 hours because my neck hurts and my body was just wrecked from driving and all this and that. And I still had to get a bunch of stuff done ready for work today, yesterday after we had driven back. So I was running on fumes and I passed out for like 13 hours afterwards. Kendrick Lamar, Odessa was really cool. They had like a fireworks show and stuff at the end of their show. That stuff was absolutely crazy. But yeah, no, we had an absolutely amazing time. Overall, my review is that it is the most electric. My favorite part was probably the outfits. People wearing different outfits, bright colors, different things. A lot of skin exposure, I guess I'll say. It was absolutely nuts. The outfits were fun, really amazing. Some of the things to get into the alcohol. So I only we drank heavily one day, and I usually don't drink anymore. Very hardly. I did the 100-day challenge where I gave up alcohol, and now at most I have a beer or two. But I will admit I did get pretty wasted on one of the festivals. I think it was Friday, the day Kendrick Lamar and 3 6 Mafia was on. No, there was a bunch of cool stuff that we got to see on Friday, and I definitely got pretty wasted. So that was, and then there was something about, I honestly, it was pretty hot. So Tennessee in June, right? Not surprised that it was pretty warm that far south. However, I will say I stopped liking the drinking after a while because I felt like I had to keep doing it in order to just keep myself from feeling like crap, which I didn't like that much. So I'm kind of over the whole idea and trying to work on drinking that much. I don't think I need to do that to enjoy and have a really good time anymore. And it just jacks me up physically and emotionally and stuff. So I really wasn't a big fan of the drinking and the alcohol, a few beers here and there, but to like really get with the vibe, it felt like I had to go all in just cuz the experience was supposed to be that type of energy, and that's cool. But I felt like I was kind of forcing it. And that's something that I don't believe you need to do in order to still have a really good time here at like a music festival, music and arts festival like Bonnaroo. You can get as plowed as you want there, and you can get buck wild and buck crazy. Just understanding that I mean, there was a girl who passed out in the line, waiting in line to get into Centeroo, and it was pretty hot, and so alcohol wasn't really my jam for that type of festival. But I can see why people want to just get chugged and get plowed and like get rowdy and stuff. It's fun, it's a good time. I understand it, but when I'm really thinking about how I feel and what the alcohol is giving for me or doing for me, I don't really give a crap, and I don't really need it. So next on to is the drugs. So I did do some mushrooms. We got to try that, and it was a really intense experience. I will say I'm not big into tripping on anything using psilocybin. I've used the compound before in the past, and the main thing I would say is be very careful when you're using something like this. When you're doing, I think there are a lot of benefits when you do it in small dosages and you don't do it super frequently. So we did more of the mushrooms, and it was pretty intense throughout my body. There was this, if you see at Bonnaroo, there is this like big mushroom thing. It's like a waterfall. Danielle was brave enough to get into that. I had this super intense experience, so I might as well tell the story now. It's pretty gross, but I think it's funny. So they call it like as you're coming up and on the drug, then it can upset your stomach. So mushrooms, it's a literal poison. That's like the poisoning effect is what's causing you to feel the intensity throughout your body, to feel the lightness, yada yada. So anyway, my stomach's a little riled up because I had a few too many pancakes that morning, and I go to the bathroom and it just hits me like a whirlwind. And let me tell you, if you can bring a portable toilet to Bonnaroo, you will be doing yourself the greatest service of services. The porta potties are absolutely disgusting. They do a good job of cleaning them and coming in and out. And I will say that. So shout out to the brave souls and all of the wonderful people who are cleaning those toilets because you're doing God's work out there. Anyway, so they're pretty roughed up and nasty. And they got done cleaning them, and then I had to go to the bathroom. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm gonna get in there. This one's gonna be clean. But it was really steamed out from them spraying it on. And I haven't been there was everyone in the park is dehydrated. It was really hot, let alone someone who is coming up on mushrooms. And I go into the porta john and I'm crapping my guts out. I can feel like the hairs lengthening on the arms of my body. It was one of the most intense experiences. I was pouring out sweat. And then when I got out, it felt like this euphoric, like crap of birth or whatever birth crap that I had in my body. And then we go into the music concert, and then it's, of course you can kind of put two and two together, music and lights and all of this crazy stuff. And we had a really, really good time. But I would definitely hinder when it comes to the drugs on it. I'm not a big fan of it because you're releasing so much that they give you this it gives you this thing called an afterglow after you're done with it, and you feel very good. You feel like you've literally expelled like Satan out of your body is how I would describe it. And but the next couple days I've always noticed that chemically I'm like I just feel a little off, and I feel a little more tense or a little more riled up, a little more agitated. So that's why I personally don't really do it very often, or if I tend to do smaller amounts. I personally don't need the feeling of leaving my reality like totally and completely. I think I like my reality a lot more. And it turns out when I'm just focusing on the present moment, this in itself is like the ultimate drug that I want. This is, of course, the life coach answer and how we're going to wrap up today's show. Is when you are at these things, it's okay to drink a little bit of alcohol. It's okay to do a little bit of mushrooms. It's okay to just experience the music. But I'm really excited for myself because I've had 2 of the 4 days I was completely sober, and I had a really, really good time. So if you struggle to go to these types of events, to be in these types of environments, I would challenge you to try and be sober for one of them and just see if you can enjoy yourself. Really focus on what you're trying to focus on. Because so many times, I notice this way more with the drinking than with like the mushrooms, but the it almost seemed like I couldn't give myself permission when I wasn't a certain type of drunk. When I wasn't feeling a certain type of buzz, I couldn't give myself permission to just enjoy the shows, to enjoy the music, to enjoy my girlfriend, to enjoy the costumes, to enjoy all of the they say this thing like happy Roo, and everyone's smiling and everyone's so nice. And I feel like it's so easy to miss out on that when you're relying off of substances to give you permission to have a good time. So I would challenge your thinking when you go to these types of things. I would highly recommend Bonnaroo. I think it's the coolest music festival I've ever had a chance to be with. Overall, I give it a 9 out of 10. It was a little hot. The bathrooms were gross, but damn it, the music was crazy. The drugs were crazy. The alcohol was crazy. Had a lot of great, had a lot of great times, and I highly, highly recommend it. Thanks for checking out our content. If you want to learn more about investing in yourselves and working with me and our company personally, we offer a 6-week Total Life Mastery Bootcamp where we go over the most important topics to make sure that our life has the foundation we need to catapult us forward, to take the right and proper actions, to become happier and more productive, guaranteed, or our money back.